Morning tubers, welcome to this little video on the Fiat Ducato, also applicable to the Boxer and the Citroen Relay and probably some other vehicles as well. I had a little issue crop up recently on my dash, which was my ambient temperature sensor, which is located outside the vehicle. I'll show you what happens on the dash when it's at fault. You turn on your ignition, bottom left hand corner of the display you get three little dashes where the temperature should be, and that points to your sensor outside, which is located in the driver's door mirror. Now these sensors are readily available on eBay. They're about a tenner, they're not expensive, and they're quite an easy fix, so don't get too stressed out about it. Let's take a look. I have already gone through the dismantle process, which only and simply because I wasn't planning on making a video on this, but quite an annoying thing to have fail on you, but also quite a reasonably simple job to do. In the casing, which is this back piece here, in the bottom you will see there is a little hole which a sensor pokes through to record the ambient temperature, and that is the little fella there. It literally just sits through. Now I recently pressure washed this vehicle, and I wonder, I did aim it at the mirrors quite a bit to clean them up. Maybe I damaged it then, but nevertheless it comes with a length of wire. This is the new one hanging off down here, and it will slot back into that hole. The two wires coming on the vehicle are black. They're not positive or negative or anything like that, so you haven't got to worry about getting the wires around the right way. But dismantling, to remove your mirrors, just pry under with your fingers at the bottom and the mirror will pop off this housing here. The lower mirror will do exactly the same thing, so that allows you to remove the mirrors. Then you've got 1, 2, around the corner there, 3, I think there's one in there, 4, and then there's one there, 5. Remove those and then you can pry off that back cover. Remember, if you've got electric mirrors, you'll have two little wires going to it, which are for the heating of the mirrors. There's the two off the back, and if I show you the mirrors, the bottom mirror, you'll see that's your two there. Again, they're not live and neutral, just put them back. And the same on the main mirror. Just be careful, pry them off gently. They do pop off without any problem whatsoever. So this is the new sensor. Comes with about 150 millimeters of wire on the end of it, which will pop into the casing. All I've done is cut the old one out, two black wires which go into the bottom of the case. I've cut the old one out, and I'm just going to reconnect the new one. I'm going to solder those in because I don't think there's room in there for chocky block. You might get away with it, I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to solder them and put some shrink wrap on them as well. So I've put a couple of little pieces of shrink wrap, as I call it, heat shrink, slipped out there. I've put a bit of tape over it to stop it sliding down, and I've just twisted the two wires together. I can't hold the camera and solder, but I'm going to solder those two now. That's the soldering iron I've used. You can use the little pen type ones, they all do the same job. And so now I have soldered those two together, and I'm now going to slide the shrink wrap over the top. Now using a heat gun, just going to shrink that wrap over. that gives you a nice watertight seal around that joint, stop them corroding. And now all we've got to do is just reassemble it. Now you need a few hands to do this. Obviously you've got your little hole in the bottom of your back cover which your sensor has got to poke through. The one I removed had a little lug on it to keep it in place. This one doesn't have one, it's only a cheap eBay one. Now I don't know, I'm just going to check, but I might have to bond it in maybe with a bit of Sikaflex or something just to stop it popping back. Now I was indeed correct. I'm going to need to bond that in there to stop it moving about. So I've cleaned the inside out with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. I'm going to use a little bit of EBT adhesive. You can use Sikaflex or anything like that. So we're going to pop that back in. We're going to pop the sensor in there, and then we'll be passing the bulb for the indicator through this hole here, and then gently popping the entire cover back on. Okay, there's my little blob of EBT on the inside of the cover, and to keep it in place while that EBT goes off, I've put a bit of tape over it. Make sure you leave a nice edge around the outside, because obviously you've got a cover to go on that on the other side. But yeah, just putting a bit of tape over it like that will help keep it in place, and that's what it looks like from the top. And that is the back cover back on. The wiring runs down here into the door. Make sure that it's not fouling any of your mounts on the inside, and be careful, put it in at an angle and close it up. It's all gone back, I believe, as it should. I've got my wiring down here for the lower mirror and the wiring up the top for the other, and I passed the indicator through the collar on there. I'm just going to wipe the case down to the mirror because I think I had a bit of EBT on my fingers. I don't want that drying. And that is the sensor poking through at the bottom. We now got to replace the screws in the back. There they are there, the shiny ones, and there's two little ones. There's only one there because I dropped one and I've got to find it, but they're to hold the indicator in place. So let's do those now. All the screws back in place. 1, 2, 3. There's 4 there, that's a fiddly one, and 5 there. And then you've got your 2 screws, 1 and 2, which hold your indicator in. That was quite fiddly, getting the bulb holder back in the lens, but it goes. So now all we've got to do is put the mirrors back. The lower mirror, just connected up the 2 brown wires to the terminals. Doesn't matter which way round they go. Now I'm going to try and film this, making sure that it's central over the circular piece, and you should just be able to pop it in like that, and there it is, it's on there. Right, we'll adjust that up, and let's do the same with the top one. So on the back of the mirror we've reconnected our heated cables, and again we are looking, you can kind of feel that it's in the right place. Put your hand right over the mirror when you're doing this, and then just give it a little push. I'm gonna have to hold it, I think, hang on. Yeah, make sure when you're pushing it in, put your hand squarely on the mirror so you're applying pressure evenly on it, otherwise you might crack it. Another little thing as well on the back, when I was putting this cover on, there's a lug right here in that corner which marries this seam together. You might need to put your hand on it like that and squeeze it together, but it's all gone in fine. And another little thing that I should have done, thinking about it, but I'm not taking it off to do it now, is in the bottom of here is your spring mechanism, which holds your mirror in the various positions. I should have put a little bit of grease on that and lubed it up a bit, but maybe you could do that, maybe not. But that's the mirror done, all back. Let's go and get in the vehicle and let's hope it works. So, turn the key. Oh, look at that. It popped up 8 degrees, which is probably about right considering the weather. It's just going through its checks that the doors are open and this, that and the other. And there you have it, 8 degrees, all reading absolutely dandy. And then we'll just check the mirror is working. Yeah, up and down. All seems good. And the bottom one. Yeah. And there we have it. A nice, quick and easy fix. Taking me about half an hour messing about, cleaning stuff up and what have you. Available on eBay. I'll put up my one that I got somewhere about there. Tenner. And the good thing about it is I've seen videos where they've taken the entire door mirror off the vehicle, and that's a labour of love. I tell you, there's a lot of interior trim to come out to do that, but we didn't have to do that, and we're back in business. Temperature sender is working fine, and well pleased. Hope that's of help to you, and don't worry about it, it's a 2-minute job. All the best, take care, bye for now.